My name is Maureen Khouri. I'm the business group manager for Microsoft Business Applications in the UAE. So what does that mean? That's basically focusing on business development, strategy, marketing for UAE Dynamics 365 as well as Power Platform. So thank you so much for joining today. I'm just going to give you a quick overview about the opportunity that we see and the huge momentum in the area of Power Platform. When you look at the market, the low-code market alone is expected to be almost $7 billion this year. When you look at automation, which is a huge topic today, it's growing almost 63% from last year. It's enormous growth. And 97% of Fortune 500 companies are using Microsoft Power Platform today. It's an incredible ratio. But we have some challenges. Shortage, right? So a lot of customers, especially in the small, medium-sized segment, do not have the technical skills to keep up with this fast pace of change. If they were to go higher, a lot of these people are very expensive, right? So they don't have the budgets to go hire these pro developers. Yet the business is saying, we need an app for that. We need an automated business process. I'm home now. I can't manage these approvals and paper-based processes from home. Then you take COVID on top of all of these challenges that we have been seeing. Now, with the pandemic, you're looking at completely new business models. For example, if you didn't have a commerce solution, or if you don't have an automated process today, and you're expecting approvals to be signed, then your business model needs to change completely, even for your customer-facing processes. Customers now expect you to deliver, to be answering them on all channels. Does your business model fit this? Does your customer's business model fit this? We don't have as much time and the resources are constrained. The layoffs are happening, not as many people in the organization. And then, of course, you're talking about remote work, offices closing, employees are self-isolated, and the organizations have limited agility, right? So if they were developing each and every application, writing code, and you need applications today to cater to this changing environment today, how would they able to be doing that with the traditional 3 to 4 months or 5 or even 6 months to create an application? You need faster time to value, right? And then you add on top of that the fact that this situation will keep changing in the future. Unfortunately, we know that the COVID situation will ebb and flow, right? So cases may go up, and then they might see more closures. Cases might go down. We might see the market opening. So your business or your customer's business needs to be extremely agile to face these changing economic and health issues that will continue to wave in a way for you to be able to ensure that your business survives during this change, right? So that puts us in a very, very good situation, a very good opportunity to help our customers, right? Because of this agility needed, Gartner estimates 65% of all app dev will be low code, right? So the whole market is changing into low code. That means there's a rise of citizen developers, right? There are people like me, people who don't have a strong technical background that are getting certified in Power Platform, right? That are saying, I want to step up and enhance my skills to be able to meet the business challenges that I face every day. as a marketing person or a customer service person, and I can go and build an app that solves these business challenges working with IT because I know what the pain points are of my business. So why don't I get upskilled so I can go faster time to value? I can create an app, and I will show you many customer references today across all industries that have utilized the low code platform to enhance business processes, even with non-technical resources, right? And then 500 million apps are expected to be developed in the next 5 years, right? That is more than the last 40 years. So if you take the last 40 years and you compare the next 5 years, it's more. So the trajectory is just astounding. Now that's where the Microsoft Power Platform comes in, right? When we talk about the Power Platform, it is not just Power Apps, right? Power Apps is the application development on low code, right? But it also includes Power BI, which many of you are familiar with, for the business analytics visualization and dashboards needed to surface the data, whether on the Power App or on your PC or any other device. The Power Automate piece is incredibly important. This used to be called Microsoft Flow. And if you're not familiar with this, it's super powerful in terms of low code, wizard based workflow engine. It's a very strong triggers and actions behind the apps, right? It connects to multiple data sources. So you can, in a low code way, create a flow that's around approvals, that's around conditional actions and triggers to make sure that the apps are now not only just applications, but they have a strong workflow engine behind them. And then the newest member of the Power Platform is the Power Virtual Agent. This can be called PVA, right? It's an intelligent chatbot that is also low code. It requires no code to build a chatbot. Imagine a customer who doesn't have technical resources or only has one or two. And now they have questions coming in from employees, questions coming in from their customers around, do you deliver, right? Are you still open? Yeah. What are the health and safety measures you're taking? All of these questions now are coming in. So this allows the customer to build a chatbot without technical code. And there are things that are the platform across all of the Power Platform, which is the common data service, right? The 350 plus standard data connectors to connect to multiple data sources and pull in all that data into one platform, and the embedded AI builder. The AI builder allows the apps that you're building to learn as you go through the business processes. This can be text detection. It can be a business card reader, for example. If you take a picture of the business card, it uploads the customer information, reading the text, right? So it makes it very easy for you to start adding names and contacts into your solution. It can be an object detector, right? So it can learn to read the sentiment of the people's pictures, your customers' pictures. It can learn to read where objects are out of place, right? And this is all built in. So your customers do not need to understand the algorithms behind it or to build these AI functions, right? So all of this runs across our productivity suite, our business application suite, and Microsoft Azure. It's all powered by Microsoft Azure. A quick note on uh, pro developers. Okay, so yes, it provides you low code, right? But it also allows you to connect to the common data service through connectors. You can see out of the box connectors, even Salesforce, right? Twitter, of course, our Office 365 suite. And the pro developers can utilize Power Apps to be more effective. So you can connect Azure services, you can connect cognitive services, you can connect analytics services, right? So it doesn't mean that because you have Power Apps that the pro developers do not have a role here. This actually enables them to focus on advanced functionality without maintaining code, without worrying about compliance and security, because this is all managed by Microsoft through the Microsoft Azure platform. They can focus on more advanced scenarios with the peace of mind that Microsoft is managing all of the entire compliance and enterprise level security. When we look at the connectors, you cannot imagine the connectors that are out there already through APIs and databases, right? Even connecting to on-premise systems through the gateway. And this is a building block for a citizen developer. This is an enabler for pro developers, right? You can access multiple data sources with pre-built connectors. Now, the question that we always get is, what's the difference between the PowerApps in Office 365 that a lot of customers are utilizing versus the Microsoft PowerApps standalone, right? When we look at the one that's seated in Office 365, it's to extend and customize Office 365, right? So this is around building apps for productivity scenarios. This is around extending the application from Office 365 data, which can be very beneficial. But now we want to take them to advanced scenarios with standalone PowerApps functionality. Standalone PowerApps functionality allows you to access CDS, so the common data service, right? It takes multiple data sources and pulls it into one, right? So it's not just your Office 365 tenant. It's pulling from potentially your Oracle ERP, your Salesforce, and your Office 365 data all into one. You can license it per app. So for example, maybe you have 500 field service workers that don't qualify for the field service app that we have because it's a very basic app. Maybe they just need to press, yes, I visited the customer, or yes, I did one type of maintenance, right? And it's a very quick app. You could license them $10 per user per month, per app. They only need one or two apps. But if you want to license them for unlimited apps, which would be $40 per user per month, and it could be 1,000 apps, right? And there is a promotion with Teams. If it's embedded in Teams, the application, and the customer has an EA, and it's more than 500 users, you can get 70% off for your customers embedded in Teams. Quick summary: PowerApps for Office 365, standard Office 365 connectors only. Microsoft Power Apps standalone, premium connectors to multiple data sources, and it leverages CDS, right? And it has the built-in security and governance for IT, and it allows professional developers to really take it to the next level. Now, we always look at what the market is saying around our low-code solutions, right? And when we see both in Gartner and Forrester, we are leaders. We are leading in vision, we are leading in strategy, right? And that makes our customers feel very comfortable that our solution is very, very strong. If you look at Fortune 500 companies from a Power Apps perspective only, I had mentioned Power Platform 97. For Power Apps, it's 90 alone. 5 million active users, right? It's 300% growth. We have a number of Power Platform user groups that you can join across the world. We have some active groups here in UAE. And we have a very active forum that I'll provide you a link for. You can go there, you can learn best practices, you can see templates, and share across other developers worldwide. You can see the number of transactional data and the huge amount of growth in Power Apps built 7 times in the last 12 months. Some of our key references are here, but I would like to show you more key references, give you a quick view of what they're doing so you can envision, okay, what is possible with Power Apps. You can see across every single industry, we have references across the world. When you look at response to COVID, you can look at city of Kobe in Japan. This local government had to manage hundreds of thousands of citizen requests for the subsidy that they were giving, right? So in a matter of 2 weeks, they had an up and running portal using Power Apps Portal, which is the external facing platform for PowerApps. This is where an external user can access your portal, which is directly basically an external facing Power App. So they created the portal, the customers go there, they apply for the subsidy, right? They have the virtual agent responding all of the questions from the chatbot. I think they had more than 300,000 in one day on this portal. So it's very scalable. And then the virtual agent answers the chatbot questions, and the Microsoft Power Automate is in the background with all of the workflows required to answer the customers depending on what the question would be. Aviation, you see Virgin Atlantic. They created first an app for their spa, right, for their VIP customers, and then they went ahead and created another app for their VIP customers, an audit app. They have an app factory. So you see the Power Apps champ here. So they have churned tens of apps, I think more than 50 apps in their app factory. Heathrow Airport had 14 of their resources promoted, right? Even security officer was the first person who went and learned Power Apps by himself to create 8 apps. And now he's been promoted to the head of IT development, app development because of this, because of his Power App skills, right? They're using this for even managing stock control, site checks, shift reporting, and the security app for their security managers. So again, they have apps being churned from Heathrow Airport. You can look at Schlumberger and oil and gas, even for offshore field crew logistics, accommodation, unbilled jobs. So even in the oil and gas segment industry, we have a very strong example. In nonprofit, we have American Red Cross using it to purchase their supplies. It used to take weeks. Now it takes a couple of days for them to request and receive their supplies needed. We have this very important customer reference within Middle East and Africa. This is a huge, largest bank in Africa, in South Africa. And again, they have an app factory, started with the ATM audits. So they would go and they would check the ATMs, they would write the paper. And if there was anything wrong with the ATM, it would take weeks to respond. Right? Today, they take a picture of the ATM issue. It gets uploaded to the customer service department, and the customer service department manages and fixes that ATM issue within a couple of days. You see it in manufacturing with one of the largest vehicle glass repair companies in the world. Again, a dispatcher, non-technical person, found some issues in their processes and created some apps, and now that person is in the IT department actually, and they use more than 40 apps in-house by one employee with no programming skills. You can see some of them here: the help desk app, the leadership app, the fleet checks app, right? And then in healthcare, you can imagine that the nurses are using apps in order to know. They enter the patient's information, how much IV to administer, right? So quickly they can provide the right information instead of going to the PC, entering it in Excel, looking it up manually. This is happening in a matter of minutes. In education, our teachers and principals are creating apps to be able to track the development of students, to be able to see trends in their classes, right? To better understand the assessments, besides shifting through papers. Now they can collaborate with the other teachers to see what is the next best action to better educate their students. Right? And now for COVID response, I just want to make you aware of a solution that Microsoft has built for cross industries to respond to this changing COVID situation. This is built by Microsoft, right? It's around safely reopening workplaces as we're returning back to workplace, checking your employees and customers' health if necessary, right? It's for facility managers, reopening facilities, health leaders, and employees. So this is an example of the employee app. So if I want to go to the Microsoft office and we don't have enough capacities for everyone, that means I need to check in my health, and then I'll receive a pass for the day. So I know what day I'm able to go as long as my health checks within what the company requires, right? So this is an overview of the return to work solution built by Microsoft, right? It's eligible for the Teams promotion because it is embedded within Teams Hub. And there's still an ability for the customer to add on top of this, right? So maybe it will take them 80% of the way, right? And 20% they can customize for their specific situation. So this is a good, let's say, template by Microsoft to go to your customers and say, do you have something to manage your offices? Do you have something to manage your employee health and safety? Do you have something? If not, Microsoft has built something, and it gives you a good template to work with during this critical time. We also have some pre-built app templates by industry. So again, if you're in government, site inspection is important, asset checkout. If you're in education, we have fundraiser, property management, budget tracker. For healthcare, for financial services, right? So all of these templates are really built to help our customers get started in a very easy way and build on top of them. What is the media saying? You can see in the last couple quarters, not only around Power Platform, but around Dynamics 365, what the media is saying. For example, our acquisition of Soft Motive for robotic process automation, if you don't know, is all over the headlines. So we acquired Soft Motive, I think back in May. And because of that, you can see here Microsoft goes all in on RPA. RPA is a huge topic today, right? Because it connects to on-premise legacy systems or any legacy systems through that don't have APIs, right? To be able to for you to see that view in through our Microsoft Automate tool, right? So it helps customers be able to connect to these legacy applications, and it's a huge driver among a lot of our customers today. You can also see Microsoft's massive Power Apps ambition, right? And Microsoft Power Platform is for real developers too. Right? So this just shows what the market has been saying about all the investments that Microsoft is making around the Power Platform. And lastly is the call to action, right? So engage with the forums online. The link is here. Check out partner solutions that have been built on Power Platform to see something that you could leverage or something that you could consider as an inspiration for your own business. I would encourage each and every one of you get the Power Platform exam certification, right? This is called PL 900. It will give you the fundamentals of Power Platform. And whether you have technical expertise or not, it's a great certification for you to have to understand the Power Platform across all of the entities that we discussed. Now, when you're looking at pitching the Power Platform to your customer base, you can check who's already using Power Apps within Office 365, right? So they're already building applications, but maybe they're using Excel as a data source, right? Maybe there's simple Teams meeting type of applications. How can we take them to advanced use scenarios? How can we take them to start connecting to other data sources to build advanced applications that can really drive their business? If you have pro developers at your customer site, right? Connect with them about Power Apps. Do they know about Power Apps? Are they certified on the Power Platform? Will this be something that will help them be able to deal with the backlog of requests from the business constantly asking for new apps? If you have high usage Power BI customers as well, they can be perfect for Power Apps because they can leverage Power BI through the application, right? And they're already aware of potentially other data sources that they're pulling in for their visualizations and dashboards. Explore potential P2P relationships with other partners. So if there's an existing Power Apps partner that you want to partner with together and go after customers together, this could be a good way for you to get started in the beginning. And then definitely reach out for questions and support from us. So that's all I have from my end. I think I did go over a bit, but I hope you enjoy the rest of the session. I hope you seriously take into consideration building a Power Platform business, extending your business because of the massive opportunity we see and the fact that our customers are constantly asking for this solution. Thank you so much. With that, I will pass it on to the team to take you through more detailed scenarios. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Maureen. I think I will take it. Let me try to be a presenter.
Yep.
Okay.
I think it's loading.
Okay. Can you tell me when you see my screen?
I see. Yeah. Yep. Now it's there.
Okay. Thank you. So, hi everyone. This is Erju from Microsoft. I am a partner technical architect on business applications and also Power Platform. So today, actually, I wanted to take you through some of the products that we have within Power Platform. But I'm sure by now you have seen multiple presentations of Power Platform already. So, and considering the Ignite that is going on actually nowadays, we have recently launched a lot of good news around Power Platform. So I wanted to take this chance to, go through some of the new stuff we have launched and its exciting new features. And this way, I'm going to explain you what do we have in Power Platform on an overview. So as Maureen explained, I think most of everybody is aware of what is a Power BI, how it helps to do our business analytics, and how powerful it is when it comes to dashboarding and reporting. On top of it, we have Power Apps. Actually, today, when we were discussing Power Apps with Maureen, we have Power Apps embedded now in Microsoft Teams. We used to provide Power Apps for Office 365 partners or Office 365 customers, where they had to log into again Power Apps and they need to use only Office connectors. Whereas today, we are using Microsoft Teams as an application development or as a chatbot development environment. So today I will show you how the newly named Project Oakdale is enabling us to use Power Platform in our Microsoft Teams. So Power Apps is our framework, whether it is within Teams or outside of Microsoft Teams. It's our framework to develop some tablet or desktop or mobile applications, low code, no code. Power Automate is our, I can say, BPM tool, where it also has our robotic process automation. So we heavily invested lately in RPA. I'm not sure if everybody is aware, but Microsoft have acquired a company called Softomotive with their RPA skills. Plus, now within this release in October, we are improving it and taking it to the next step. So today, I will show you a bit of what is Power Automate Desktop is. So Microsoft is launching their own RPA solution that is super easy to build and super easy to automate any desktop or web UI flows using Power Automate. We can also do chatbots. Let's say you have very common questions within the company. What's the process of returning a product? How do we give the refund back to the customer? What are the regulations, etc.? So if we have such internal questions, let's say you have an internal knowledge base where you need to answer the same questions every day again and again, we can turn it into a chatbot within your Microsoft Teams and deploy it in one of the Teams groups that you are actually a member of. And everybody in the company then can easily go ahead to Power Virtual Agent, to the bot, and get the required information they would like to get. So they can ask the questions, the everyday questions to the bot, and instead of you, a bot can reply. Going forward, actually, I think the flexibility we got with Power Platform is unmatchable by any of the competitors. So that's why I think that this is something that sets us apart. Definitely, we have the data and services, and we have a lot of ready-made connectors to more than now 370. It's getting close to 400. So now we have all of these standard connectors to connect to our on-prem legacy databases, modern cloud services. It can be common data service of Microsoft. It can be Office 365. It can also be other competitor systems that we need the data from. Maybe it's SAP that we are building application on. Maybe I'm building a receipt reader application to read my receipts on my mobile phone and send it to SAP or Salesforce. So I can quickly implement it using PowerApp and push it to one of these systems using maybe Power Automate. When it comes to process automation, actually, I think one nice thing is, number one, Microsoft is investing on RPA. I will show you how easy it is to configure RPA flow one yourself. And the other thing is, with the business processes and the approval flows and the conditions, it's really super easy to build your own automation flow, even with, let's say, steps where you need to give an approval. And we are able to put it into many different channels, including even mixed reality experiences. So if you have a HoloLens and let's say you are working on the ground with a service job, from even there you can actually initiate a workflow where it goes and maybe launches an RPA to do some actions on your legacy systems on your desktop back in Office. Or you want to use some of the chatbots through Facebook, where actually it does update your business backend systems, but you are talking to the chatbot through Facebook or WhatsApp. So all of these channels are supported, and it's super easy to configure all of them.
Edge, a quick question.
Yeah.
With the mixed reality, you can leverage third-party hardware, right? If HoloLens is not available here, we can leverage the third-party hardware,
We can lever.
right?
Okay, that's one option. The other option could be maybe we can use the mobile applications of mixed reality to get a similar experience also.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, but I think this is coming up with customers a lot with the guides and the being able to kind of
Yeah.
support the field.
Actually, we were, for
Yeah.
example, we were talking to a company where they are selling yachts to their customers here in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
And time to time, they need to maintain the yacht, or at least maybe there's something urgent happens and the customer needs to call them to get the help.
And these
So
are very picky customers, right?
they're very picky customers because they have a lot of money. So
Yeah. So they need
we have to
professional
they need
support.
professional support, and they need it right then and there. So
Yeah.
we position the mixed reality solution over there, and customers are actually the partner, and the customers are really happy with that because uh, they can suddenly open their mobile phone and show maybe the engine part of the yacht, or maybe something else went wrong, so they can show it. And the guy at the office can mark and say, you know what, you need to unplug this cable, reset that, and connect this again. So
It's
you
amazing.
have your engine working until you come back to the shore.
That's amazing. So
So
they're guiding you through the app in a mixed reality way in order for you to be able to know exactly what you need to do to fix this issue at the yacht. You don't need to
exactly,
go
yeah.
back and get somebody to come out.
Yeah,
You get that
imagine you're in
person
the
as if
middle
that
of the
person is
sea.
there.
Yes.
Perfect. Oh, that's great. I hope we close the deal.
Okay. Uh, Definitely, we are bringing all of these together. I mean, besides connecting to 400, almost 400 other systems, we are definitely making the best of our Microsoft 365, Microsoft Teams, Azure services, the cognitive services, the AI services, the SQL, event hubs, all the technical services you think of in Azure, plus Dynamics 365. We are bringing all of these together to create business custom applications and flows. Okay, let's start with some of the new things. Productivity in Office 365 with PowerApps. So actually, we have yesterday introduced and announced the project Oakdale. What is it? Is it's a low-code data platform within Microsoft Teams. So today, if you go to your Teams and click on the three dots and add a Power App, you can build a Power App right in your Microsoft Teams. So this is what I am going to quickly show you. Whoops. For example, this is my Teams. I actually, for people who cannot see, maybe it's better to open the web end, because this function has been launched literally yesterday. So maybe you can't see it on your desktop. So it's better you go to the web to check it. So you can go on three dots and search for PowerApps, and you can actually add this to your Teams. And here, using the Project Oakdale functionality, you're able to create your own app. So I can click on create an app. And let's say I'm having day-to-day leads, or maybe I need to capture my savings if I'm a, let's say, procurement officer. So I need to create an app. And which team is going to use the app? So let's say one of these teams, let's just choose a test team. So I want to build an app where that team in the teams will be able to use it. So first I need to build my data model. So what am I going to save? What kind of data model I want to work on? So I'm going to quickly set it up. I just wanted to show you this new feature and how easy it is to build an app from scratch in Microsoft Teams. So let's say my app's name is, let's make it simple. Let's say leads collection app, or prospect collection app. So I'll create a table where I can actually save my lead information, and I can actually publish this app into my Teams. So I'll click on create a new table. The experience is pretty much same with a regular Power App. It's just we are limited to data storage only in Microsoft Teams, but that is still fine. So let's say I want to collect some prospect information. I'm going to create a prospect table. So here I want to have maybe the first name of my prospect. So let me just name this first name. And I want to have also last name, and maybe mobile and some email information. So let me quickly capture them: email and a mobile. Let's say mobile. And let's say this is enough for my daily prospect capturing. And that's it. So this is saved. So now I can close this, and suddenly system refreshes and it automatically brings me the same attributes here. There's already an application template. It understands what I'm trying to do. I have a structure that I want to save information in. So it already gives me a default screen to work on. So maybe I want to do some basic changes, change the order of them, so that I first capture the first name, and then I capture the last name, and then I capture email and mobile or email. And then I can actually right away play the preview in Teams, and I can click on new record. I can capture, for example, my own information, and not my mobile phone, hopefully, and maybe my email address. And suddenly I have an app where I can use to fix my day-to-day problems. And then maybe I'm going to put a button to download all of this at the end of the day and send it to another system, or put a button here to send it to my Salesforce, send it to my SAP. So I can quickly build an app without even stepping out of my Microsoft Teams. So this is actually what is Project Oakdale allowing me to do. If you guys are familiar with the classic controls of PowerApps, pretty much everything is available, but usually it's limited to only Office 365 connectors. So if you want to add a address information with a map, you can add. If you want to add a specific, maybe you want to upload a PDF where there you have some reports about these people, let's say from credit bureau, you want to save, so you can add and you can save it. You want to save some images with these prospects, you can. So it is pretty much a similar experience of building an application, but this is running in this is running in Microsoft Teams, and you can go ahead and actually publish this to the team that you like and that you use every day to basically use it daily. So I can choose which tab I'm going to publish this to and simply click on save and close, and that's done. So I can then go back to my team and actually use it every day from there. So I have my leads collection application, for example, that I just built. So in my teams, I'm able to keep using it. And there are all these standard controls, and I can customize it as I like. So it's that simple. Similarly, we have launched also our Power Virtual Agent. Power Virtual Agent is, as I said, this is our low-code, no-code chat builder platform where you can actually create a chatbot and publish it within your Microsoft Teams. So to not take too much of your time, let me quickly show actually what you can do here. So I already built a very basic bot yesterday. So I simply defined some topics, and I found some frequently asked questions about COVID online, and I actually added them as topics here. So I went to topics and I said, you know what, I have a website where you can collect all these frequently asked questions. I simply pasted the World Health Organization link, and I got around 300 questions answered automatically through my bot. All I have to do is switch them on. So now, if my employees are on the channel and they are not sure about whether they should do X or Y, so they can come here and say, should I wear a mask, or whatever comes to their mind. So they can type it in one of your normal Teams groups, and the output is the official answer from World Health Organization. And I built this literally in, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes. So it's super easy to build your own chatbots, and then you can publish them part of your Teams, part of your Microsoft Teams application, and you can chat to them as if you're chatting to a real person. And building such chatbots is super easy too. Okay, these were some of the exciting new updates. I definitely advise you to go ahead and try the same. So Project Oakdale, and actually on top of that, you saw the list of controls that I can use in PowerApps, but we are not limited to that. So just like Maureen said, for pro developers, if you are really highly skilled on HTML, you know what kind of control you like exactly, we have a framework where you can build your own controls as such and make it even more specific to your business purpose, and it can work with Power Platform and with Dynamics 365. We have some of the newly added features, like you can add a map and you can use the geolocation information through a Power App. We are definitely bringing a standard data governance controls within Power Platform, where actually your users or your system admins can control what part of my business data is leaking out, what part of business data shouldn't leak out, so that you have a control of which connectors can pick a data and push to where. So you're on top of your data flows. So this was a quick update on Power Apps. So I want to actually show you quickly what Power Automate can do. I think by now pretty much you have seen multiple use cases of Power Automate. However, I think you haven't seen the robotic process automation much. And yesterday we have launched something called Power Automate Desktop. So first time ever for Microsoft, we launched a desktop app for Power Automate to do a
So,
desktop and web automation flows.
Arju, sorry, there is a
Yeah.
question in the chat window. What about the data access role for the other members of the team?
Okay. There is also, well, it depends on if number one, if you share the app, you don't share your data. Each user has their own data storage, let's say the allot data storage space within Microsoft Teams. So if the other user is using the app, they will have to basically create their own prospect details. But if you want to share the data, maybe we can store the data in a SharePoint and then also share. There are ways around it. If we want to stop them from sharing, we can stop. If we want to share, we can find out workarounds to share the information with them. But this is usually for personal productivity, so it's usually not sharing the data with the other users. Okay, I think I took a lot of time already. I want to show you quick updates about this Power Automate desktop, and then let me hand it over to Dawood. So we have a lot of process automation flows that we can build. It can be instant, it can be based on time, it can be based on another action. An email came and I need to process the invoice and take the amount from the invoice and take the details from the invoice and send it to my ERP. So all of that is doable. Actually, here are some of the examples. Let me show you. 1 minute. Let me show you some examples. Yeah. For example, finance department receives invoices attached to email messages. So what we want is to automatically process these invoices and send it to a legacy system. Legacy procurement system that often results in significant time, effort, and data entry errors. So instead of going through this challenge, what we can do is we can build a Power Automate and an RPA where we can receive the email with Power Automate, take the attachment, take it through a form recognizer to recognize the elements of the invoice, and then using RPA, we can put the information right into your legacy systems. Actually, let me show you an example on that. So soon you will be able to also download this Power Automate desktop, and you can do such flows for yourself also. So for example, let's say I have my legacy system here. It's called Contoso Invoicing. And I have some of my accounts where they are sending me invoices, and maybe I would like to add a new one, and I want to really use another interface. I want to maybe talk to a chatbot on Facebook. I want to type it from my WhatsApp, and I want it to be entered in this legacy system. So this legacy system has no whatsoever APIs, so I need to somehow connect to it. So I can use at this point Power Automate desktop, and I can say, let's create a new flow. Let's make it, let's say, invoice account add flow. And I want this to be a really desktop flow. So it's opening me the designer. So similar actions that you can do on actually a Power Automate on your web, you can do it on your desktop application as well. And for this example, we will start with a desktop recorder because we want to automate something on desktop. But first, let's define what is our input. So let's say I need to have my account name. So let's name it as account name. And this needs to be, let's say, Majdel food team, just to give an example. And this is called account name. And maybe I need to put another input and say this is going to be the person, the contact person. So I can name it as a contact person, and I can say, let's say Ahmed Ali. And I can maybe add the email information. This is important to communicate. So I have some email information coming as an input to my flow, and let's put a sample email. Let's say ahmed.ali@microsoft.com, just as an example. Okay, so we are good to start our recorder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on desktop recorder, and it will open me a small window here. I can say, let's start recording, and I will do my activities on this application. So I'll click simply on accounts. It starts capturing every action I do. I'll click on this new button. I'll click on account name and type, for example, what did we say? Math. And I'll click on primary contact. I'll type Ahmed's name. We will change this later on. And I'll click on contact email, and I will click here and type ahmed@microsoft.com. And I need to click on save after doing this in my legacy system. So all of these actions are recorded here. What I can do is, if I really think that some of the clicks I did was by mistake, I can remove them. I can add a comment not to forget what I will do in the flow. Or if I need to extract an information here, I can, right click here and say, get this text. So extract this information out of this desktop application and finish. So it takes me back to my Power Automate desktop, and I recorded my desktop actions. So now I can connect actually this the account name, for example, to be coming from my input. So I had this account name coming from my input already. So Ahmed, I can change this to the input contact person, and the email should be coming from my input also. So I'll click on this function and choose the email incoming from my input. And the output is maybe the contact ID, maybe some other system needs it. So I can actually, I can click on adding a new output and name this output as, let's say, account ID, and actually write this to account ID. So I can, the on text, I need to, write it to attribute value, and then I can say set an output maybe, and or set a variable and then set the value to the output. Anyway, so this is all doable. Then I can maybe run it one time for checking if it really works. I'm not doing anything, so it automatically added all of this information and saved it. So I can then, it gave a small error, but that's fine. So I can then save this, and then, I can start calling this UI automation or the RPA flow from any other system. I can call it from a Facebook. I can call it from WhatsApp. I can call it from application in Teams. It can be any interface you like, and it is very, very simple to do all of these. And if you want to interact with other applications, do an OCR, run something on the command prompt. So all of this is available right away from the toolbox. I highly advise you to go ahead and actually try to download Power Automate Desktop, since it's public preview now, and play around it. We will actually announce later on some partner-facing trainings on this, and for sure we will invite you also. I think that should be it from my side today, Ahmed, and I wanted to quickly show some of the recent updates, just not to be boring, plus to add some value to the discussion. Hopefully it was adding some value.
Okay, thank you so much, Erjo. I think there is one more question in the Q&A, so it will be great if you can answer the question. I think someone is have a confusion between Power Automate and UI Automate. So, and meanwhile, I will take the present to show my demo.
Sure.
Okay, just let me know if anyone can see my screen. Hello?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you so much, Erjo and Maureen. So let me introduce myself. Hello, everyone. My name is Mohammed Dawood. I'm a partner technical architect for finance and operation. I will take you through today about Dynamics 365 Business Center. I know we are over time, so I will try to be fast as much as I can. So here is our agenda. So we will have like a quick introduction, and after that we will see how we can transit to cloud, and second we will see how we can adapt our business operation, and we will finish by technology modernization and the next step and how we can go forward with Dynamics 365 Business Center. So here is the questions: how and always how do we want to transfer our business to Dynamics 365 Business Center? Always any company in the world, okay, they have the main factor for any company, which is the data. So data always is the main factor for any organization or the company in the world. And there is our main four factors or four main parts to provide and maintain the data for any organization. If we talk about this main four parts, which is we can start with the product transformation, or how we can operate and organize the process, and the third about the manpowers and the employees. Fourth will be our connection and engagement with our customers. Once we have the data from all of these four aspects, we can take this data and analyze it, and after that we will be able to see and have a better view on how we can maintain our data. Let's see from the high level overview how we can fulfill the data through these four main aspects. So to fulfill the data through these four main aspects, we can have separate areas and the modules in our Dynamics 365 Business Central. So let's say we have our sales area, human resource, finance, operation, marketing, commerce, and the service. So if we take this each area, so we will have like a different process, and this will cover in different areas in the organization, and the company will be able to fulfill the data. And after that, the system will take the data and start to perform the transactions and analyze the data. So how we can support and adapt the business operation? To support and adapt the business operation, so far there is some challenges in the world, and we will take some examples about these challenges. First, if we can see, like we have around 54% of the organization always struggling with the business process and the integration issues. So a lot of companies in the world, they will have issues to define the right best practice and the right business process for them, and also when they implement any solution, they will have a big issue about integration, and they will not be able to integrate or to connect with other applications if they are using multiple applications. The second main challenge, which is the customers always facing about the reporting limitations. So it's quite difficult for any organization once if they are using different system to modify or create or customize a new reports, which is having to have a better view about the data in the system, and about how is the organization moving forward. And thirdly, if you will think about the legacy systems and the outdated applications so far, based on the current situation with the corona, and all of the organization trying to minimize or to reduce the cost, and to save a lot of cost about the hardware, the servers, and the infrastructures. Now we will offer the cloud service for all of our customers, which is the customer don't need or don't care about the hardwares, and what is the maintenance or how much is the cost of the maintenance of the server. So the changing of the landscape, so we will have like three main areas. First is the machine learning, and the second integration with other systems, and the third about the cloud service. So about the machine learning, so now the machine learning, we are very connected now between Dynamics 365 Business Central with the machine learning, and the machine learning will be able to understand all of kind of transactions and the process happening in the system. And we can take as an example like understanding the payment process and the payment cycle, and can give a recommendation or suggestion how you can do the right way of the payment, or if we even if we have like a late payment from our customers, they can pop up some notification and the information. The other part, which is the integration. So integration, you can integrate with the financial planning and to do some kind of analysis and the closing capabilities as well with the financial core management system. The third one, which is the new demand for financial management application and the deploy to cloud service. So now you have two options to deploy on cloud service, or even if the customer have some any restrictions or limitation to deploy in cloud, we still have option to deploy on-prem. Let's see how is the overall view about Microsoft Dynamics Business Central. So we have 6 main areas or modules covering most or all of the process for any organization, starting from the financial management, the service and the sales management, supply chain, project management, operation management, and the reporting. In the other side, also we can connect, or you can connect with third-party applications or ISVs. What does this mean? So some examples like the payroll, in UE or in Gulf, we have a special requirement for the payroll and the HR, which is maybe not covered 100% in the system, and you wanted to customize your own payroll to fit with the government requirements. So you can build your payroll in top of Dynamics 365 Business Central, and you will be fully connected with the application. And also the other part, which is you can automatically pull the system and the process together, and you will pull them with the best practice process and system process, and also the manage the financial and the sales service and the operation. So here in more details about every module, what we have in the Business Central. If we take the first part, which is the financial management, we have the GL, AR, AP, bank reconciliation, fixed asset, monthly and the yearly closing. For the sales and the service management, we start from quote to cash. So we will have you can generate the quotation, you can have a contract with your customers, and you will complete your sales invoice and the payment process. Project management, so we will have the capacity and the capability for the planning, and you can define the budget and the estimated. You will have the job and the process costing, and you can have a resource management as well. Supply chain will cover the inventory and the purchasing, control, ship and receive, return and the cancellation process, and the procurement process. For operation management, it will cover mainly for the planning, which is the forecast planning and the production planning as well, warehouse management. And by the end, we will end up with the reporting and the analytics, which is covering all kind of reports and the dashboards, starting whatever from the customer insights, from self-service report, from interactive dashboard, and the built-in intelligence. So there is approach now. How is our approach is working with adapt the business operation? We have two models or two areas what we are covering. First, the business operation, and the second, the technology modernization. If we start with the business operation, we will have two main aspects or two main areas, how we will optimize our team to simplify the process and the tasks for our team. And the second, how also we can centralize the financial and the distribution management to be embedded with other reporting tools. How we can do that? So we have three main areas to simplify or symbolize and integrate the process and the tasks for our team. First one, which is any device at any time. So we don't have any limitations for the business users. They can connect from any device, whatever laptop, tablets, or mobile, and they also can connect from anywhere since you are deploying on cloud. So you just need to log in from anywhere and log in by username and password, and you will be in the system and you can do or complete your tasks. Role-based workspace. Role-based. Okay, this the like example how you can run your business from anywhere. whatever from laptop, from computer, from tablets, or from mobile. And also, yes, you still have an option to deploy in cloud or on-prem, and both you will be able to access from any device and any. The second about the role-based workspace. So every user will have own dashboard, and this dashboard based on the security rules assigned to this business user. So let's take as an example the CFO. If the CFO wants they open the system, we can build and modify the dashboard for the CEO or CFO to be able to see some numbers, and this will give him a visibility to understand where is the business are going. And based on this number he will be able to do with one single click. If he have any doubts or want more details about any kind of numbers, with one single click he will be able to see the more details about this number, from where these numbers are coming, why we have a shortage in this number, why this numbers in red like what we can see now, and based on that he will be able to take some right actions in the right time. So the third, which is one of the powerful tool and the amazing tools, which is we are totally integrated and connected, embedded with Microsoft 365. So now you can complete even the process, whatever quote to cash or procure to pay, all of this process you will be able to do it through Outlook. So even business users, they don't need to open the Business Central and log into to their accounts and start to transact from the system. No, they can do even from Outlook. As you can see the screen now, our Outlook is fully connected with the Business Central. So let's take this example. One customer will send it to us asking for some items to send a quotation. So as we can see here, you can create a quotation. Okay, you can go from the Business Central through Outlook and you can create a new quotation. You will be able, you can send it to your customers, and once the customer approves the quotation, you will be able to convert it to the sales order, and after the shipping complete, you can still invoice the sales order from Outlook. All of this, and even we have the one more option about credit memo for any kind of returns. So as you can see, all of order to cash process, you will be able to complete it through Outlook without even need to go and open Business Central by yourself. And the same way for the purchase orders, and also we have a ready integration or connect with the PayPal. So if your customer are using the PayPal, you can send the invoices as a PDF directly, which is will save a lot of time. And here also one of partners which is connecting with the Microsoft 365 Office. So with one single click, you will be able to export any kind of data and information from Business Central, and you will able to export it to Excel. You can do whatever, any formulas or any dashboards in Excel to have a better view on the data. And in the other way around, whatever, if you have any data in the Excel sheet and you wanted to do like a kind of massive upload in the system, you need just to prepare your template based on some sequence, and after you prepare your template, you will be able to upload it back to Dynamics Business Central through one single click. And here also we are connecting with the machine learning, as we said, and now how the system can read and understand the machine learning with the Business Central. So we will take the same example again. Our customer sent to us to ask for a quotation for a couple of items, one with 8 and the one with 4. The system will be able to read the item name or item description from the mail and how much quantities our customer is asking, and based on that the system or the Business Central through Outlook will suggest for us the items which is have the same names, and we will create the two lines, create an order, send the quotation orders with two lines with the requested quantity, and they will give you option just to confirm. If you are okay, you will check the these two lines and click okay. So system, once you click okay, system will be able to generate and create the quotation inside Business Central. Once the system creates a quotation, so you will be able to see the quotation inside the system, and also you will be able, based on the machine learning as well and the AI, you will be able to see the sales and the inventory forecasting. What is your actual demand? What is the forecasting for the inventory? System will be able, based on the history of the sales, system will be able to suggest or give you some recommendation or advice for your forecasting for next period. And also for the inventory suggestion, we have the image analyzer, so you will be able to upload or export or import some item photos and images to Business Central as well. And this will help you a lot through the commerce. So once you have a commerce enabled, so you will be able, once the cashier is using the commerce, they will be able to see the images and the photos for the item. So now we will see how we can centralize or distribute our financial management with the financial reporting tools what we have in the system. So let's see how it looks like here. So here we will have our data in the system, and we need to take some help or to take our decisions. So what we can do, we have our artificial intelligence tool will help us to take some decisions. And how can this be done? This can be done, so whatever we can do, like a kind of cash flow and the inventory forecasting, and we will do that by creating some Power BI reports. So some Power BI reports will give us a better view on how is our cash flow and the inventory forecasting are working. And based on that, we can build our dashboards and the reports to have a better view on how is the process and how is the data are working in the system. So cash flow and late payment. So you can create also your own web service cash flow forecasting. So you will pull all of the data from the system, and you will be able to modify and configure your web service to have a full view and understanding on how is the cash flow status in the system. And based on that, you will be able to take a right decision in right time and try to be a proactive. And also this will help you for the any kind of late payment, so you can have like a standard or sorry, not a standard, a separate dashboard for a late payment customers, and you can share this information with the collection department, so they will be able to follow up with the customers and they take some actions and the decision based on the open orders for these customers and also the outstanding amount. Here also, as Erjo mentioned, with the Power Platform and the Power BI, we have the business intelligence with Microsoft Power BI, which is you can, with low code, no code, you can configure and create your own dashboard without need any technical consultant. With the key users and the end users, they will be able to do that. They will create their own dashboard based on where they are, what they are looking for. For example, the examples what we have now about the items the dashboard, so the user can create the item tracking or the item status dashboard to see what is the available stock now and how much on demand we have, and whatever the on demand or the actual demand is coming from where, whatever from retail stores or from online stores, and also where is our opportunities for these items. So, and whatever, for sure, you can do that for different areas and the different process in the system. So here you do it for the items. If you go for from the finance side, as we said, you can do it for our cash flow and you can check the late payments. If you wanted to do for the manufacturing, you can track your manufacturing orders. So based on the process or based on the tasks you wanted to, or information you wanted to track or you wanted to see. So dashboards and reports also, yes, we have a Power Platform and the Power BI, but we have internal reports, and you can customize these reports internally within a Business Central. So you can design your reports, and even this report is more flexibility, and you can use it out of the box report designer. So if we have in Business Central, we have 100 of standard reports. So instead of go and create a new report, so business user user can open one of the existing reports and start to modify whatever the layout format or add additional information to report or remove some of the information or data. This will be based on the business requirement. So without even need to go out of the business. So here we almost done with the business operation. So let's see how the technology modernization are working or what we need to cover. So first we will need to operate and manage the environment for the business central, whatever production or test environment. Or the second, how we can personalize or embedded our solutions, which is we can add Power BI or Power Platform. And the second, how we can extend our solution for future and the powerful deployment environment through APIs or through our app source. And by the end, security and reliability. So here, let's see how we can effect and manage, operate your Dynamics Business Central environment. So you will be able to create a tenant admin center, which is will help you to manage your production environment and the sandbox. And in the same time, you will can set up like notification for administrator. He will be able to receive any notification for any kind of changes in the configuration, or even if you have any updates, new updates coming from Microsoft, he will be able to receive a notification and he can schedule the update. And the second here, how you can even unify your data and the process across the sourcing using Microsoft Power Platform. This is what we explain. It's very easy to connect with the Power Platform. There is no customization or code required with only a simple configuration. You will open the connection between Business Central and the Power Platform. And after that, you will be able to pull the tables and the data from Business Central and you will build your BI reports. And here, how is the diagram looks like? So we will have here the business central, whatever we can have it on cloud service or on-prem, or even our third-party applications or ISV. And we will have a connectors and the gateways with a Power Platform, which is a Power Apps or Power Automate or Common Data Service. And on top of that, we have the direct connection with Office 360. Now we have two parts to integrate or extend our business central. We have the add-ons and we have the connect. Add-ons, as we explained, you can build your solution or ISV on top of Business Central, whatever you can have as an example, the payroll or any specific requirement from the customers or integration with the banking system. You can always build your solution, and after that, you will be able to publish the solution even in App Source, Microsoft App Source. And how is this helping you? This helping you to be accessible through all of the world, not only for UAE or Gulf. So once any customers looking for a solution, let's say for banking integration, you can build your solution and publish it to Microsoft App Source. And anyone in the world looking for application or ISV for banking connections, once they open the App Source, they will be able to search for banking integration on Business Central. So your application will be one of the applications filtered, and this customers or vendor will be able to connect you from everywhere in the world or anywhere in the world. And based on the license on the agreement, you can have like an agreement and your solution will be implemented in different countries. The second part, which is you can build the connector through APIs. We have a big number of standard APIs in Dynamics 365 and the Business Central, which is you can use to build the integration or connections with hundreds of applications. And our APIs also is flexible and configurable, so you don't need to build something from scratch, which is you can use one of the existing APIs to connect with any kind of applications, whatever Oracle, SAP, Salesforce, or even any local or small applications. And here, what is the powerful of development environment? What we have, so our development again, our core or our base, it's a Visual Studio, which is we have hundred or thousands of developers, which is they know very well how to customize or how to work in the Visual Studio. So you will not need a specific technical consultant to be able to understand how to customize or work on the development area. So it will be easy to find a good resources to be able to help you and support you to customize on Business Central. So yeah, this is what we explain about the app source after you build your solution. So it will be simplified to discover the trial and acquisition for line of business applications, and our app source is our ecosystem for to help the business user to get started and using the app faster. And how it looks like. So first we will have our the ISVs and the partner ecosystem, which is all of the solutions you're going to build on top of Business Centrals. And after that, you will be able to publish to a Microsoft App Source. And here we will have our process and the productivity, which is our Business Central and Office 365. And here we will have a Power Platform, which is covering Power BI, Power Automate, Power Apps, and AI Builder. Data and the intelligence platform, which is covering all the common data service and the connection or connectors gateways. And by the end, we will have our platform, which is Azure Cloud Service. Security. So what we have with the security with the with the Microsoft Business Central. So if you are going to deploy through cloud, so you will have Azure Active Directory authentications, and you will have a data isolation and the encryption, and you will have a service integration. What does this mean? This means as a customer, they don't need to take care or to be worried about how is the data are secured and how is the data is isolated or not isolated. So every customer will have an authentication for the Azure Active Directory, and the data will be isolated and encrypted. And by the end, the users will be accessing the system or the data based on the security rules. So far, this like a quick overview about Dynamics 365 Business Central, and just as a next step here, if let's get started with the Dynamics 365 Business Central. Here is some links you can log in and to, if you are willing to understand or read more about the Business Central. You have a Business Central on Microsoft website, and also there is a learning path, and there is a documentation for Business Central. That's all from my side. Thank you so much. I know we are over time, so I don't know if we have any questions.
Hi, Ahmed. Mahmoud here. So, yes, the webinar is recorded. We'll get back if we can share the recording with you or not. I'll have to check with our marketing.
Yes, Mahmoud. Junaid here. Yes, of course. The session is be recorded and you can share.
Okay. Done. So, thank you everyone for joining. We'll be sharing the webinar link with you after few time. Okay.
Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you,
Thank you
everyone.
so
Have a nice day.
thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the speakers and all the attendees. Thank you so much.